on my TV right now.
Yep. Just make sure it's not loud, and then.
Oh no, I'm not putting it loud. Seriously?
What happened?
I forgot.
Forgot what?
No, I got a new debit card. I forgot to put it to my account.
Really?
Because I had some shit happen with my old bank account.
Yes.
So I closed it and I opened a new one.
Oh, really?
And I forgot to put the card on.
Uh-oh. Yeah, now we're live. So officially live. I put the link up on the website, and hopefully now it's streaming right now. If you go on YouTube right now page, it's actually streaming right now.
I just got the update.
Yeah, it's pretty streaming right now. It's on YouTube. It's on everywhere now. So, I'm trying to get the network on. So let's start it off, I guess. Hello, everybody. This is the R10 Wrestling Podcast. We're here. We're basically talking about the post WWE draft, what happened after the draft today. So this is July 19th. We're talking about, the post reaction of the draft. I'm right here with my main man, Rich.
What's up, guys? This is the big guy, Rich.
The big guy, Rich, and I myself am here, the mastermind. Nick, at the moment.
Nick is not with us right now because, as everyone knows, it's hard for him to maintain the status of like 7 different shows at one point. So Nick gave the okay for us to just do this while he's trying to catch up. Sal could even vouch for this. This is hard for someone to maintain, to do all of this.
And indeed, he's running, of course, a great website, Pro Wrestling Opinion. You can check out all your different, all your news articles, all the new stuff that he posts up. He recently did something about the draft. He recently posted up about his predictions, his whole, his review, his whole take on it. And hopefully you think they'll probably post up some kind of reaction afterwards once he gets to it. But
he will definitely. He doesn't let the fans down.
Yep, he doesn't.
Neither do we.
Yep, yeah, he definitely won't. But we'll have to wait for that. We'll see what his take is on it. But for the meantime, we're here. We're talking about the post draft. We're talking about what's happening and all the different the developments that happened. As you know, July 19th was the first night where the SmackDown moved on to Tuesday, and now it's live every single week now. So that's a good thing. And also, it was the time where the draft actually happened, where SmackDown and Raw were each on the podium picking out their picks. And Rich, could you just run down the rules of what were just run down the whole coverage of how like the rules were and everything of how the picks went and everything.
Sure, no problem. Well, the rules were as it was stated on WWE.com, the WWE Network, the WWE app, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whichever social media site. Raw got the first pick. For every 2 picks SmackDown got, Raw got 3. So they basically did groups of 5 picks. It was Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, Raw.
Which was kind of unfair, do you think?
Yes and no. I say yes because that gives Raw the 1-person advantage.
Yep.
But no, because if you think about it, Raw is a 3-hour show. So they have an hour extra. So they kind of need more talent to fill the matches and the gaps and all that.
Yeah.
So I understand the picks. Mm-hmm. I understand the 3-2. But it's kind of hard to explain because we grew up in a time, this makes it sound like we're old, but we're really not.
Yeah.
We grew up in a different type of draft setup.
Yeah, I agree.
If you remember, the draft was all show versus show, but there was no set rosters on this draft. It was every single superstar is available.
Yeah, and I mean,
Oh, and I also forgot to add there was also 6 NXT picks available to be drafted.
yeah, and that's very interesting. For the first time ever, they're including their developmental brand, as WWE and the higher ups will call it, as part of their roster. So that's pretty interesting. This is a good way of seeing some NXT talent get a call up in a public way too. It wasn't kind of it was actually a new way of doing it, you know. But I mean, we looked at, today it just happened, and when you look at all the way when they called up all the NXT people out of the draft, they got massive pops, and that's fully understandable because these guys are getting the break of their life. They're coming out of NXT, they're moving up, and now they're in the main roster.
It's not even that. It's the fact that a lot of fans prefer watching NXT now because there's so much better talent than the main roster.
True. I mean, there's a lot more depth of character, the way that they build it. There's a lot more people there, a lot more different ways that they they create
they also utilize the talent better.
Yeah.
They utilize the talent so much better in NXT.
Yeah, and as a fan, you kind of get gravitated towards it because you see that niche audience there and Full Sail, and we get kind of gravitated towards that because we see that and we say, wow, that's interesting.
And if you also look at the NXT roster, a lot of independent talent, which, as Kevin Dunn, the asshole, puts it, the vanilla internet marks love the independent wrestling scene.
And he, of course, he hates NXT. He thinks that's the worst thing ever. But look at the way that they produce, the money talks, everything. The way that they're selling out crowds.
Sal, in your opinion, has there been a bad NXT show?
Not at all. Not at all. But, I mean, besides the fact, if you want to, and Kevin Dunn, if you were to explain to a person like Kevin Dunn, God forbid we said his name.
If I would have to explain something to him, I would end up shooting myself in the face.
I know I would shoot myself in the face too. But this guy, if you were to explain it to him, he wouldn't understand, that there is some quality because he has his own ego complex of,
you have to dumb it down.
Whatever, yeah, they're not produced the way that I wanted to. It's all AAA, so that doesn't matter. But when you look at the facts, the shareholders, all the people in the higher up, even Kevin Dunn, you can explain to him by saying, hey, look at all the sales that they have, ticket sales. They're selling out every crowd, every arena that they go to.
Perfect example. How fast did NXT Brooklyn sell out?
Oh my God, that was all over. I think in a week it sold out. And in this year it sold out really quick. 1, 2, 3. It
sold out in, I believe, if I'm correct, I might be wrong. Don't shoot me if I'm wrong. I think I might be though. I think it said 2.5 hours it sold out.
2.5 hours, yeah. That was a record time. I mean, it's understandable.
And if you think about it, it was a developmental company that sold out in 2.5 hours.
That's a
developmental company.
And here's another thing. They had a competition with ROH, which was also there at the time in Brooklyn. And
this year they have another company, which actually I respect. They moved up their show 5 hours so fans could go to both shows.
Which is very kind, very courteous. But, I mean, nonetheless, we see the success of NXT. I mean, let's run through all the picks that were made. If you look at the starting of the night, the first pick of the WWE.
The first 2 picks everyone called. We just didn't know who was going 1, who was going 2. Everyone called these 2 picks, though.
Yep.
Raw's first pick was the CrossFit Jesus, the Architect, Seth Rollins.
Which I think is a phenomenal pick. I mean, when you look at that, you just say.
But in your opinion, if he was to go 2, would you have been upset?
Nah, I wouldn't. I mean, regardless, he is one hell of an athlete, and if you're in the top 5, that means WWE has some kind of plan for you, and they're looking at you in a big way.
Either 1 or 2, I wouldn't care if he went to Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're in the round 1 picks and you're in the top 5, you are definitely having some big things happen to you. You're having some big development happen to you, and that means that they have full trust in you. I mean, if you look at SmackDown.
Sal, question.
Yeah.
Would you want to just announce the picks to the fans the way they did? I do the Raw picks, you do the SmackDown picks?
If you want to do that, I will do that too. We'll do that if you want. But, yeah, I mean, if you didn't see, if you already saw it, you probably know. But the order is very important. Like, if you see the way that they did it, it's very important the way that they did, because it was every 3 picks that every 2 picks SmackDown got, Raw got 3. And there was a reason for that. It was, because the 2 and 3 hour gap, there's difference. There's a difference between the way that the, shows are produced and the way they are. But, I mean, yeah, nonetheless, it's, we could do that, I guess, yeah, because it's by order, too. So you said Seth Rollins was for Raw. After that, the next pick was for SmackDown, which was Dean Ambrose, WWE Champion, which makes sense. I mean, they're causing a divide between the Raw and SmackDown and, this whole WWE title picture thing.
But it's just like official you said.
Yeah.
It's like you said, 1 and 2, no one would have cared who went to which show. It's just everyone called Rollins and Ambrose going 1 and 2. So, can't be mad.
Here's some breaking news. Kane has been drafted to SmackDown.
And I just saw Titus O'Neil was drafted to Raw. Golden Truth was drafted to Raw. And Paige drafted to SmackDown.
SmackDown, indeed. I mean, it's pretty interesting the way that they're doing it. Now they have the supplemental draft going on as we have in this show right now. So it's pretty interesting. Well, actually, Paige is on SmackDown, matter of fact. I mean, not on SmackDown, Raw, matter of fact.
The number 3 pick, which I was kind of in shock because I didn't expect a person to go this high.
Overall
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Charlotte was drafted 3 to Raw, which I was kind of shocked.
Which is now interesting. Now SmackDown has the WWE title. Raw has the WWE Women's title. So which way are they going towards this? It's pretty interesting. But, I mean, looking at the feud, too, it makes sense, because Raw, they're a 3-hour show. They need some more, productivity. They need more talent. And that includes the women. And plus they introduced this whole idea of the cruiserweights coming in, too. So hopefully we'll see something there. But moving on from that, they picked AJ Styles as the 4th overall pick for SmackDown, which, I mean, is interesting because then there's a divide between each show. But overall, it seems like Vince is giving his confidence and saying, okay, that SmackDown and Raw are on the same level now. They're not separate.
And this is where Raw officially took the victory. They called up the highest ranked NXT superstar, the Demon, Finn Balor. Which
got the whole wrestling world on storm, which was like, oh my god. For one, this guy got called up. 2, he's on freaking Raw. He's on their flagship show. So that's a pretty big deal. I mean, what do you have to say about that, Richard? I know you're a big Finn Balor fan.
Oh, I love Finn.
I know you do.
I was all for him when they signed him.
I know, for Prince Devitt.
Well, before I go on my Finn Balor rant, here's a question for you. Does he show up at Battleground, or does he show up?
Does he show up at Raw? I think he's going to show up at Raw. Because the way that they have it, they can't just go ahead and have him show up on Battleground. Because if they just have him show up on Battleground, it's just, okay, fine. He shows up on Battleground. What is he going to do? Oh, he's going to go with the club. Maybe, maybe not. You don't know. But it'd be more hype, and plus it makes more sense to just have him on Raw. Because, 1, they're looking for the ratings. 2, they're looking to bring some more spontaneity. They don't want to just end. They don't want to shove everything into one thing and then that's it and just end it. They want to go ahead and have it be everywhere. Where people will be gravitating their attention towards different parts of WWE production.
Fans, breaking news: Cesaro drafted to Raw.
That was phenomenal. I think that was a good move by them.
Ahmed, he won in the supplemental draft though.
I mean, yeah, the way it's crazy.
He should have been an actual pick.
I think he should have been in round 2. He was there for way too
You could argue which round. It's just he should have been one of the picks.
He should have been one of the picks, I think. I mean, the way that they had it, they kind of just had a whole deal going on where it was just like, okay, it was like, okay, back and forth. Whoever went, another person went. But, I mean, if you look at this, Raw got most of the, they got most of the big indie picks, which is pretty interesting. I mean, you never see that before, where these guys are, brought in and it's all indie guys. It kind of puts a light on, how WWE's now, where they're putting their trust in the indie guys now and saying this is the future now. But, I mean, moving on, I guess we can just talk about the whole draft afterwards. They have round 2, 3, 4, 5. And I believe certain ones of them, certain amount of the picks were on Raw, were on SmackDown, and then after that, they said the rest was going to go on this live WWE Network broadcast where they're going to announce they were going to announce the next few picks, which is kind of like the supplemental draft. But nonetheless, I mean, if you look at the way that they have it here, if you look at the next few picks after that in round 2, for Raw, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and the WWE Tag Champs, The New Day, came up, and they got drafted to Raw, which is pretty interesting. I mean, Roman Reigns, first of all. Now they have Roman and Seth on the same brand, which is pretty interesting. And it's kind of like, you know, how is that going to go now, you know? Now both 2 Shield members out of the 3 are on Raw. One of them is on SmackDown. So how would that work, you know? But I mean, nonetheless, it probably gives a hint for what's going to happen at Battleground. Another pick, Brock Lesnar, recently had a fight with the...
Oh, I think great pick. Great pick from Raw.
Who?
Brock. Great pick.
Brock Lesnar, right? Yeah.
Yeah, great pick.
It's
know, wherever he goes, there's going to be, hands down, he's going to have publicity all over him, no matter what.
Yeah, that's true. And
everyone could vouch for that.
Yeah.
Because you hear Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, you're going to get ratings no matter what, especially no matter who he feuds with.
True. I mean,
you could put him against the shittiest person on the roster, he's going to get draw no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, it's Brock Lesnar is a prize fighter. He's one of the biggest, you know, box office hits in, you know, everywhere, wherever he goes. UFC, he sold out.
Which is actually a good question now. Who do you feud Lesnar with after SummerSlam? Because, you know, they have the whole thing with him and Orton right now.
Yeah, and
who do you feud him with?
Speaking of Orton, he got him, and the next 2 picks after SmackDown were big picks. John Cena and Randy Orton on SmackDown. So I mean, on the line of Randy Orton and Rock, now it's Raw versus SmackDown at SummerSlam. But that's true. That begs the question: what's going to happen after that? Are they going to have a series of matches?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the next feud for Brock Lesnar after SummerSlam, the one that everyone has been asking for, basically, him versus Kevin Owens.
Yes, I think that's, and also Bray. I mean, there's also a lot of room. It's not just not just Kevin Owens. You can look at Cesaro probably. You can look at probably what's his name? Who else? Bray Wyatt. You can look.
I don't know, because if they actually go by what the fans want, it's gonna be Owens versus Lesnar, which you could bring that into WrestleMania.
That is a WrestleMania.
You could go long-term feud.
That is for sure. But it seems like the way that Brock's deal is, he's only set to make a couple of appearances. So it seems like, you know, how the way that they're having it.
I don't know. After what happened at UFC,
oh my God.
He had a second failed drug test.
Yep. Especially
I think he might do a lot of appearances.
Yeah, they had this whole recent thing. Now, this also begs the question, too. With this whole thing with the UFC, with the drug policy, the controversy is that John Jones had the same exact kind of violation for estrogen blockers. And the same thing happened with Brock. And now when people look at this, they think, oh, steroids. The fact of the matter is it's not. Because what it really comes down to is it's a tainted supplement. What that means is that somebody took a supplement that had some kind of ingredient in it, where some of the supplement companies, they add something in them, and then that caused the whole drug test to say, you took this when you really didn't, and you didn't intentionally take it. So some of these
That's
athletes,
basically like the post you put on Facebook.
Yeah, it's basically the same.
Don't go by what it says on the container.
Yeah, because here's another thing, and I'm a fitness major, so I know about this stuff. Like the supplements that they actually come out with in the boxes, the protein powders and everything, they're not FDA regulated, meaning that the FDA doesn't have any control in how they're produced, what they put in them, and all that. The companies do it and then just leave it out, and then people just buy them, just off the shelf. There's no regulation. There's no kind of organization that looks through it to see what's in there or test it. They just post it out and do whatever. They could have put dog piss in there, and it would have been okay because that's they're making money. And that's why I'm totally against that, by the way. But still, I mean, nonetheless, it begs the question for Brock Lesnar. What's the status in WWE after this violation? Because WWE has a strict wellness policy. They obviously don't want to be in, any kind of, they don't want to get any heat for that. And it might be that we might see this main event go off in the air. it might not happen, you know. So that's kind of sad to see. But I mean, round three. Round three. Let's move on. For Raw, they had Sami Zayn, Sasha Banks, Chris Jericho, and for SmackDown, they had Bray Wyatt and Becky Lynch. What are your thoughts on that?
I like it. It's just the fact, as everyone knows, I'm a big fan of the NXT talent. I was expecting to see Bayley in this round.
Yeah, I mean, they had rumors going around that they were handing out, I think, what was it?
Hugger section.
Thing, right? Yeah.
They were handing out the Hugger section signs, like the Cesaro section.
Yeah. So maybe that might be foreshadowing, because right now, breaking news.
Well, you have to remember, they are doing the supplemental draft, so there is a chance that she still can get drafted.
It might. I mean, here's some other breaking news right now. Darren Young got drafted for Raw now. And Kalisto is, I believe, for
SmackDown.
SmackDown, yes.
And Sin Cara just got drafted to Raw.
And they had this whole thing. They had a segment where,
Naomi got drafted.
Where, to Raw?
She got drafted to SmackDown.
SmackDown. That's really big news. That's crazy. Now, what about
that? Actually means she's coming back now.
I hope.
I believe so, because she posted on Twitter a picture of her in like glow in the dark stuff.
Yeah.
So the return is back.
I hope. I mean, now it makes sense because they have this, live shows going on and everything. So they have to keep putting on content now, you know. So they have to involve as many people as they can. I mean, when you look at the round three picks, back to that, Sami Zayn, Sasha Banks, and Chris Jericho. Zayn, I mean, that was kind of like, when they first announced Zayn as the pick for Raw, it was kind of like, okay, fine, he's going to be on Raw. It is what it is. Maybe they'll separate Owens and him, and then later on in the night, they find out that Owens gets drafted as well to Raw. But, I mean,
I'm actually mad that Owens went that low.
Yeah.
The Ascension drafted a SmackDown.
Yep.
Not impressed.
Mm-hmm. But it begs the question, I mean, what's going to happen now? Are they going to just have this program keep going? Are they going to have them in a tag team thing where it's like kind of awkward? And, it's interesting. It seems like they're trying to push.
How many teams broke up so far? The Lucha Dragons and the Wyatts?
And the club.
Well, not really, because you might get Balor Club, being the fact that they're on the same show as Finn Balor.
I think that's what they're teasing now. They're teasing that because now AJ is out of the picture. Now who comes in the picture? Finn Balor. That's probably what they're trying to get at now. But now look at the women's division. Raw has now Charlotte and Sasha Banks. I mean, you gotta look at
whoever gets drafted.
Yep. And you gotta look at that and say, wow, like they're probably going for a big program there. And to have Sasha on any brand, I think that's the best thing. She brings the most merchandise. She's the most talented.
I love Sasha Banks. I think she's the best diva in wrestling right now.
Bro, you don't know how many old 35-year-old men are walking around with those shades, the shirt with the little finger, that little piece in the hands and everything, and they're wearing that and they're strutting around and everything. So I mean,
I'm not gonna lie, I have a legit Boss shirt. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, but it's different. I'm not a 35-year-old creep.
No. I'm not saying that. I mean, I'm totally a fan of Sasha, and if that was up to me, I would be doing the same exact thing because she gets the most response out of the male fans, which no other people has ever done. Yeah, she's the boss.
She's the boss.
Exactly, she's the boss. I mean, if
it's that simple, she's the boss.
If she told me to go ahead and start around like her, I would do it. I don't care. I'd be like, "You're the boss. I got you. Doesn't matter.
You're the legit boss.
You are the legit boss, and I will do that. I don't care." But it's it's pretty interesting. Now they have her on Raw, the flagship, so she deserves it. I hope she gets the title. We'll see from there.
I hope she does too.
Yep, she definitely deserves it. She definitely deserves it. But who else? Chris Jericho. Now he's on Raw. I mean, he's a part-time player. He comes in and out, so hopefully, it doesn't really matter. You seen the look that he had today? He looked like he was on He looked like Jesse from Breaking Bad. I swear to God, look back and you'll see the remnants of Jesse, Walt's assistant from Breaking Bad. It looks just like him.
All right, round 4. The first pick was Rusev for Raw.
Yep. So the U.S. title is now on Raw as well.
SmackDown drafted Miz, the Intercontinental Champ.
So now that's on SmackDown.
Raw, Kevin Owens,
Hmm.
which is a great pick.
Yep. Now it continues that feud,
SmackDown, Baron Corbin.
which is phenomenal. I think they need a heel, and he's the best heel.
And to finish out round 4, Raw picks the Certified G's and the Bonafide Studs, Enzo and Cass.
That was interesting, right? I mean, they didn't separate them, which was pretty good. I was actually relieved by that. I was like, thank God. Because if they separated them, that would have been a totally shit move right there.
That would have been.
Indeed. I mean, another piece of breaking news. Who else? Someone else got drafted, I think. I'm trying to think. We just got drafted now.
Del Rio.
Nah, not Del Rio. Del Rio got drafted, I think, afterwards. I'm trying to think.
Well, it's going through the picks right now.
Yeah. Right now, I mean, as we're going in, there's actually a whole thing going on, like, you know, who's drafted and everything.
And Kalisto, Naomi, The Ascension.
Oh, yeah, The Ascension. So The Ascension is now on SmackDown, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Round 5. Raw selects Gallows and Anderson.
Which is good. That means a club, and that teases for Bulletproof or Bullet Club.
SmackDown, another big pick by them, American Alpha.
Which that got the biggest pop, I think, from the whole night.
They were long overdue their call up too.
That
Just
was
like Baylor.
They deserved it.
Raw, Big Show, which no one really cares.
Big Show. Yeah, no one gives a shit because he jumps back and forth.
SmackDown, Dolph Ziggler. Very good pick.
Hopefully he becomes the world champion for their show.
And to finish out round 5, Raw selects Nia Jax from NXT.
This one was pretty interesting. I mean, it was kind of like how the WWE has this fantasy with the Samoan family. Like, it's kind of like, come on, man, you guys just, and, you know, it kind of brings the heat on her. I mean, no lie, she's probably like the next Awesome Kong, but the fact she's still got some work to do. She hasn't reached there yet. I think she still has a lot of work.
She is very talented, though. That we can give her.
I mean, yeah, I would give her that. She's trying at least, so I can give her that. You know, she's trying to do that, and she has a lot to live up for. Because you gotta understand, The Rock
comes from a big family.
Yeah, and their family is like the big thing, you know. So anybody that comes out of that family is expected to be a big deal.
And if you think about it, have you seen any Samoan who's disappointed?
No.
With the exception of Roman Reigns because he's boring. But have you seen anyone disappointed?
What about the Usos as of late? You gotta say, I mean, they haven't won any world tag. They haven't been in the world tag title
since they had that nice little run a couple years ago.
Yeah. I mean, now they're kind of like this wash away, you know, every kid loves them tag team now. I mean, another piece of news. Usos are on SmackDown now. Which you gotta say gotta say something now.
It could be good. Because just from what I'm seeing, I see a nice little tag team section going on SmackDown.
Yeah. But
just with Alpha, the Usos, the Ascension.
Yeah. But do you feel like it's going to be, are they going to bring back the World Tag titles on SmackDown? Like a separate World Tag title?
I don't know, because there are, like, the heavyweight, the WWE Championship and the tag team and the women's should bounce back and forth, to be honest.
Yeah, they should, definitely.
But if you also think about it, they could also go back to how it used to be, where each show had their title and the Money in the Bank. There was 2 Money in the Bank matches.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to understand now since they're 2 separate brands, there's got to be some kind of caveat now. Maybe it's going to be, now they announced there's going to be different pay-per-views. So will they have different Money in the Banks? Will they have different Elimination Chamber matches? If the
they said that they're going to be, Royal Rumble is going to be both shows, WrestleMania, both shows. SummerSlam, I believe they said was both shows.
Yeah, they said most of the big 5 are both shows now.
And if it's true what I'm hearing, Survivor Series is going to be Team SmackDown versus Team Raw.
Yeah, it seems like
which I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. I mean, it seems like they're building up for that. Like this draft is obviously for some big plan, probably going till Mania and afterwards. Maybe next year they might have this draft, and I hope they do, because every time that you see the draft, it's exciting because you see, okay, there's a hope of okay, something different might happen, you know. But I mean, I agree with you on that. They might just have Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, and it also seems like they're gonna have a Shield and Bray Wyatt, the Wyatt's reunion.
Primetime Players reunion, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Because think about it. Now they've basically separated everybody to different brands now. So how is that gonna work now? Are they gonna, like they might have this one time where these people come back, like for example, the Shield. If all three reunite one night, that's gonna be big, no doubt, right? What do you think?
Speaking of people reuniting, do you think there's gonna be any old people coming back?
Yep. Oh, what are you talking about?
A certain person who can manage American Alpha.
A bald-headed.
The Olympic gold medalist.
Gold medalist.
You know the guy who won the gold medal with a broken freaking neck?
Neck? Yes, yes. And the guy who's real, damn real?
Yeah. That would be a great return.
Angle, right?
Yeah, that would be a great return.
But they said that there's so many different rumors going around. They might have it. It might not happen. They don't know yet. But it seems like after it's already announced that he has indie dates until November. Actually the date of Survivor Series. So maybe the night after Raw, after the night after, we might see something.
Possibly.
Who knows? Possibly, and I hope. But they reached out to a whole bunch of people. But
some of the people reached out to Carlito, Shelton Benjamin, John Morrison, Jeff Hardy.
They actually denied it, saying no, we didn't get nothing. The only people that said that they did get something was Tajiri, I think. Who else?
He's in the Cruiserweight Classic.
Yep, and Brian Kendrick.
Because the Cruiserweight Classic.
Yep. But we'll have to see how that works. They might be there as,
surprises.
Yeah, it might be surprises, or we'll have to see. But, I mean, with the draft, it's not just, it happens that night. There might be something that happens afterwards, too. Because there's been times where weeks after the draft, something big happens. They introduce a new world title, a tag team forms, something happens like that and all that stuff. But, I mean, we'll have to see what happens from there. But, nonetheless, round 6, let's see what they had. For Raw, the returning Neville came back. Adrian Neville, known as Pac.
The man that gravity forgot.
The man that gravity forgot. And pretty much I think most people forgot, but he came back on Raw. So that's pretty interesting.
And he got bigger, too.
Yep. And Cesaro is on Raw.
That was a late pick.
He needs a push. I don't know when they're going to push him. I hope they do sometime soon.
And I think he's going to be in the ranks of great who never won the big one.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking news, the Dudleys drafted as a team to Raw.
Why don't they just separate them and us wrestling fans, we're dying to hear.
I know this is bringing back a TNA reference.
Yeah.
I want Bully Ray.
I definitely want that too. And I just want to see
that cut amazing promos.
Oh my God. What if we saw what would you call it? Bully Ray versus Rude in WWE. Or Bully Ray versus AJ Styles in WWE.
Zack Ryder drafted to SmackDown. Long Island IZ.
Yep. So now what about the Hype Bros? How's that gonna work? Mojo Rawley's down there by himself?
Oh my God. Biggest pickup of the night just now.
Who was it?
The biggest pickup. Are you ready for this one? I don't know if you can handle it.
Mine's is I think a minute behind. Wait, let me find out. Wait. Right now it's still on Zack Ryder.
Okay.
Wait. Not yet. Don't tell me. Still trying to find out. Let's see. Not yet. Come on, go you motherfucker. Oh my God. This is the biggest name ever.
Best pickup.
Best pickup ever. You name it, since you found out first.
Summer Rae.
Summer Rae is in Raw. Oh my God.
Apollo Crews to SmackDown. Great pickup.
Which is shocking.
Mark Henry to Raw.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Cruz pickup is going to be good though.
Yeah, Cruz. I think
He's very talented.
Cruz needs it for sure.
He's very athletic, very talented.
Speaking of Cruz, Sheamus is on Raw now also, so that's.
I think Cruz could do something though.
Cruz definitely could. I mean, he's a phenomenal athlete. Next
NXT call up.
Yeah,
Alexa Bliss to SmackDown.
What? Oh hell no! Oh my god!
I'm waiting for two female wrestlers right now.
Most likely they're gonna call them up soon.
I'm waiting for Bayley, and I'm waiting for Carmella.
Carmella definitely needs it. If she could come back on Raw, that'd be dope. But
if she could come up with Enzo and Cass, that would be great.
Yeah, that would be dope. But I mean, speaking of divas, Natalia's on Raw now. I mean, on SmackDown. That's something too right now. So I mean, you gotta say, basically Natalia's on SmackDown. What about Tyson Kidd? He's been injured for almost about a year now, year plus. Are they gonna bring him back anytime soon, or is he not coming back at all? Or will they just have him on separate brands?
I'm hearing he might be pushing for a retirement. They want him to because it was that serious. But
yeah, I mean, but it's just because it's like with the whole the set of injuries that they have, there's got to be something. I mean, they have this lawsuit right now. Have you heard about the lawsuit?
But if you think about it, at the same time, didn't the same thing? They can't really do nothing because it was an accident.
Yeah.
It's not like Joe did it on purpose.
Yeah, but I think it's just the same thing. Like, anybody can say, oh, they didn't mean to do it. But then when it gets done, they're like, oh, I didn't mean to do it. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh, well, I still got your spot. And I think that's the deal now. It's just, it happened, but you can't just say, oh, it wasn't on accident, But, I mean... But what about SmackDown also? They picked up Alberto Del Rio as the last pick, on less televised pick, should I say. And, I mean, I've got to say something. You got Kalisto on SmackDown now. You got Alberto Del Rio on SmackDown. They're trying to bring back this Latin American, Lucha Libre style to SmackDown now. I mean, it's got to say something now, What do you think about that, Rich?
That one I'm not too sure about.
I mean, there's no doubt Kalisto has something in him. He's probably he has some potential, but that's yet to be seen about how that's gonna work, But I mean, they still have this whole that was mostly all the televised picks that they had, and now they have this whole Draft Center Live thing, and they're announcing more picks.
All the supplement draft picks.
Or yeah, that's technically a supplement draft. I mean, back in yesteryear, they had they announced picks online on WWE.com for the hell of it, or they would announce it weeks to come. But now they're doing with this thing with the network, it makes sense, because of course you have the network, people are paying $9.99. It makes sense to do that, But I mean, nonetheless,
you should get something because you just promoted their network.
We definitely should. But I mean,
if you think about it, what are we really going to get?
Well, we got to cut a deal with them for our RSN podcast, for RSN Wrestling Podcast, to put it on the network. That would be dope.
Yeah, but they got the Stone Cold podcast.
Fuck him. No, I don't know. I hope he didn't. If he did, he would freaking kick my ass.
Austin will, hands down, Austin will kick any of our asses.
He probably would.
With his broken neck.
He probably would. And his knee. Take one foot up the ass, that's done. I'll be like, oh, shit, done. But, I mean...
as every NXT fan is waiting, we're just waiting for the Bayley pick.
Yep. What about these announcers? I mean, what do you think of tonight of the announcer, They had
I was ready to shoot Jerry Lawler. His jokes are not as funny as they used to be.
He needs to stop. It's just there's no point. You're just trying to cut up with more and more jokes. But it's just it's not funny anymore. It's just what are you doing now, You're an old man.
Growing up, his jokes were funny because we were little.
Yeah, that was funny. All the little innuendos and everything and, all that. That was interesting.
Think about it. Growing up, we didn't know what it meant.
Yeah, and now looking back, we're like, oh my god, you said that. He really said that. And now it's like he's saying something. It's like he's been PG, basically. They basically toned him down to the point where he just became like a cancer to WWE now. But I mean, what do you think about the announcing crews now? They have Mauro now, it looks like, on SmackDown, which I think is fantastic. They got Byron Saxton on SmackDown also.
Who cares?
JBL, God knows where he is.
JBL's probably going to be where he regularly is.
Probably on Raw, I think, yeah. But they have, what is it called? Jerry Lawler.
Braun Strowman to Raw.
Braun Strowman's to Raw?
They are just announcing it now.
Oh, hell no. Yeah, I seen that too. Oh, my God.
Him and Bray together.
I don't know. I don't understand what they're trying to do with this. Like, there's something going on here. Like,
Well, the Wyatt said they're all going in individually.
I mean, we'll have to see how that works. I mean, as you're seeing on screen right now, Braun Strowman is on Raw now.
Breezango to SmackDown.
Really? How come mine is like one step behind? I guess that's the network.
Probably. There you go.
Oh, there you see him. So Breezango's on SmackDown. That's kind of like, okay, so how is that going to work now?
I personally say they should take Fandango and repackage him as Johnny Curtis.
I think Fandango. I don't really see anything in Fandango anymore. It's just, I mean.
Oh, best pickup. The Social Outcasts.
Oh my God, really?
Wait, is it all of them?
As a team?
No, Bo Dallas to Raw.
There's Bo Dallas?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So he's going to be
Bo Dallas.
He's probably just going to be like one of those feeder talent. Like, people that just get buried over and over again.
So the Social Outcasts are breaking up.
I hope. It's just their cancer now. There's no point in having them anymore. It's just like, come on. You guys are just going to do this over and over. There's no reason to do it.
Oh, my God. Sal, your favorite person in the world.
Oh, my God. Don't tell me. No. Oh, my God. No. Kevin Dunn's favorite person, right?
All Red Everything to SmackDown.
Oh, me. Oh, hell no. I don't want to see her on Tuesdays, man. It's too much.
Wait, so you're saying you're going to draft her before Bayley?
That just hit me. That's true. They drafted her. No, they drafted Nia Jax.
No, Nia Jax, understandable.
Yeah.
That's understandable. Even Alexa Bliss, I could understand.
Yep.
Alexa Bliss, I could understand picking before Bayley. Because Nia and Alexa, both very talented. But that piece of shit?
Now they got the Shining Stars also. Which I'm kind of like, okay, they need more tag teams. So
the Vaudevillains to SmackDown?
Vaudevillains, I probably already.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, I don't mind that either. It's just, whatever. That's cool. But what about the New Day? I'm glad they didn't separate the New Day.
I'm just still furious about friggin' that cancer.
Oh, my God. Hell no.
Before Bayley.
We'll see. I mean, maybe she might not be. Maybe she'll show up as as a
surprise.
As a surprise. But we'll have to see, how that works.
I don't care. You don't draft useless talent over the future.
But that also begs the question: do you really think she's going to be the tag team partner for Sasha at Battleground?
I think so. Even though Sasha claims it's not.
Mm-hmm. But that also begs the question for Dana Brooke also. How is that going to work with her? Now Charlotte's on Raw. Is Dana going to go with her? Or is she going to be in a separate league of her own?
I don't know, because she hasn't been drafted either.
It's interesting. I'm just like, come on, man. They got to – I mean, they're probably doing some kind of picture. But you got to understand that now they have a women's title on Raw. Does that mean that both brands are exclusive to just the women now? Or how does that work? Does it only have one brand? Or maybe they're just going to bring back the Divas title.
Hopefully,
put it on SmackDown.
Hopefully they do, but not the actual belt.
Yeah, that butterfly, stupid Kevin Dunn's favorite belt looking ass,
You bring
retarded.
the exact same title, but in blue.
Yeah. Hell no. I hope they don't. That thing just looks like it looks stupid as fuck.
It's
But
the WWE title, basically.
yeah. But I mean, nonetheless, that's so. If you look back at all the pictures, all the titles, let's look back at all the titles that they have on each show now. So Raw has obviously they have the women's title, the tag title, and the U.S. title. SmackDown, on the other hand, they have the WWE title for now. They have the
IC title,
and basically they don't have any other titles. And also Raw is coming up with the cruiserweight division. So does that mean they're bringing back the cruiserweight title? That's gotta say something.
If they do, SmackDown should bring back the hardcore title.
Yeah, I mean that's they gotta have some kind of parallel. So now they have one major mid card title, being the U.S. title on Raw, and the other mid card title, Intercontinental title on SmackDown. So they gotta have other subtitles for that too. Now they're gonna have the cruiserweight title on
Well,
Raw.
are they actually gonna bring the cruiserweight title, or are they doing just the cruiserweight
like a showcase
tournament?
Yeah. I mean, let's look back. Have you've seen the Cruiserweight Classic, right?
Of course.
What do you think of it so far?
Just the first 4 matches, amazing.
It's phenomenal, right? I mean, they have so many international talent, and it's such a success because everybody else
and
is.
Just think, the biggest name has yet to perform yet.
That's true. Kota Ibushi he's like one of the.
Oh no, I was talking about Zack Sabre Jr.
Zack Sabre Jr. didn't even he didn't even apply his craft yet. Cedric Alexander came up. Kota Ibushi came up to WWE TV. So now, what about these guys now? You gotta say something.
I'm just mad that they made him drop 35 pounds. Cedric Alexander.
And that's another thing. That's what I'm kind of like. This whole cruiserweight division on Raw is kind of iffy. Like, how are they gonna do it? They're gonna have indie people just come in, do their stuff, and leave. What are they gonna do? Are they just gonna, tell them, okay, you gotta drop weight and then go ahead and perform? That's gotta do something, because obviously, like they said, if you're dropping that much weight and you're trying to wrestle, that's gotta impact your wrestling. Like,
it's just like in UFC.
Yeah.
When people have to drop weight, that affects them and their fighting style.
Or if they have to fight up to another class, that happened in John Jones' situation with John Jones and Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier ended up fighting Anderson Silva, a light heavyweight, and
he's an actual heavyweight.
Yeah, and if you've seen that, it was a disadvantage because the weight has some effect on you.
Or even better, Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz. McGregor had to drop weight.
Another big fight, yeah. And that's something. Are they really causing? Do you feel like this is a limitation that they're putting on the people to perform?
Another great person, sorry to go back on what you said, Chael Sonnen.
Chael Sonnen, yep.
He had to gain weight.
Mm-hmm.
He went from a middleweight to a light heavyweight to fight John Jones.
Mm-hmm.
That slowed him down.
You got to be able to train properly and get through it in time. I mean, you can't just go ahead and think like, okay, 1, 2, 3, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. You got to do something. I mean, if you look back right now, most of the cruiserweights back in the day ended up becoming world champions, but that wasn't because they were restricted to a certain weight class. It was just because the stipulation was, okay, you're a cruiserweight, you're not gonna get anywhere. And then over time, people start saying, oh, these guys are the future, this, that. Look at names: Chavo Guerrero,
Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero,
Chris Jericho. They told him he wasn't going to be world champion. He became world champion 6 times. Look at him now. He's like the biggest wrestler ever. But
he's the best heel.
Is this a way that WWE is trying to, limit the way that, the way people come up, or are they just trying to lock people into one class? Because that's where I kind of feel like this is kind of sketchy. Because are they really trying to limit people? Say, and make an excuse? Like, for example, if let's say some big indie talent comes up, like let's say Kenny Omega comes up, he's obviously
that would be great.
Yeah, but would they just limit him and say, "Oh, you can't move up because you're a cruiserweight," or "Oh, because you're restricted into this weight class"? that's got to do something. You know, it's kind of like, okay, are you really just forcing people into one class? Like, that's kind of messed up, you know?
Yeah, like another perfect example. Just say Cheeseburger comes into WWE.
Mhm.
He's like what, 112 pounds?
Yeah.
Imagine him winning the WWE title. That's never going to happen because
Yeah.
he doesn't fit the stature
Mhm.
of WWE heavyweight championship material.
True. I can see that. You're right. I can see that in a sense. I mean, it's just, I mean, the fact of the matter, is right. WWE doesn't want to just have a scrawny person as a champion. You know, that I understand that. That's that's the face of the company. That's someone who you put your whole fuel behind. Somebody who you base your whole.
I think the Social Outcast just broke up.
It feels like they did. Yep. And I think that's good for each one of them individually. I mean, Curtis Axel obviously
he is great talent.
He needs to.
I think Curtis Axel is a great talent.
Yeah. They need to give him his own singles push like they did before.
He's a Paul Heyman guy. Just remember that.
Put him up with Paul Heyman again. That would be perfect. But
that's going to be hard because we all know Heyman stays with Lesnar.
Yep. He's not contracted.
Final round, guys.
Last round of draft picks. Hold up one moment. Here's what I don't understand. Why don't they have any of these women on
Alicia Fox. Really?
Alicia Fox?
You draft her before Bayley?
Wait. You're spoiling it for everybody. All right, so I see Alicia Fox. She's obviously on where? On Raw? On Raw.
Eric Rowan to SmackDown. The Wyatts are not together.
Wow, so they really did separate them.
So when Luke Harper comes back, what do they do with him?
That's going to be interesting. I mean,
do you team him back up with Eric?
Or maybe have him feud with Bray, because for a while he was seen as the lone wolf or the lone person that would break off eventually.
Okay, Charlotte and Dana Brooke are together.
They're together now.
She is on Raw.
Oh my God. So now we're seeing Eric Rowan. Hopefully later on we'll see. Okay, now I see Dana Brooke. Now Dana Brooke and Charlotte are back on Raw together. So that's basically like they're gonna do the shenanigans.
I'm waiting for one name.
I hope that name comes up, and then we're just gonna go berserk.
Really?
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Hold up.
Really?
Mojo Rawley?
Really?
Where, to SmackDown?
Yes.
Wait, so Zack Ryder's on SmackDown. Now he's on SmackDown too, right?
Yeah.
So he's the wait. So now he's the NXT pick.
He's the final call-off.
What kind of bullshit is this? Come on, man.
Curtis Axel to Raw.
Okay, I mean, that's cool. That's all right. I mean, hopefully they have him break up.
I'm pissed.
No, he's not really. So who's all the draft picks then? We have American Alpha, Finn Balor.
American Alpha, Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, Eva Marie. Oh, Carmella on SmackDown.
Carmella's on SmackDown. No, so the Eva Marie doesn't count as I think a main roster pick. Well, that's good though. I mean, Carmella's back on. Where's
SmackDown? She's with Enzo and Cass.
All right, that's good. That's good.
But is Eva Marie considered the call-up?
No, Eva Marie is really just a main roster call, I think, because she was originally, I think, sent to the main roster originally. Like she was from the main roster, sent to NXT, and then back. She's like a floater, like Zack Ryder was, sort of.
I'm still mad though.
Basically, one more pick then, isn't it?
Okay, Finn Balor, American Alpha, Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, Mojo Rawley, Carmella. 6.
Oh my God! So they're not gonna call her then.
And if you consider Eva, that's 7.
That's a load of bullshit. So it looks like they're not calling her up then.
The hug. So why would they give out the signs?
I think this is a swerve. That's probably another big fuck you from WWE to us, the fans.
Just like Finn Balor getting called up every week since Royal Rumble.
Yep. Being backstage, quote unquote.
Backstage, taking pictures with people.
Yeah. I think it's just like if you look at drafts past.
Well, just throwing this out there, Finn Balor was drafted before Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar.
He's one of the top 5. That's got to say something.
He was the number 5 pick.
Number 3, actually. Number 3 pick.
Not saying number 5 in general.
Number 5, yeah, it's true.
But remember, it was Raw, SmackDown, Raw.
Yep. But that's got to say something now. Like that means they have their full trust in Finn as the next guy, and he's on Raw, so that's got to say something. He's probably taking John Cena's spot as the top guy. They might be having Roman Reigns doing, saying, "Oh, Roman Reigns is gonna be the top guy," but I totally doubt it. Like the way that
Vince, as it was stated on Facebook, Vince is losing trust in Roman.
And he has every reason to. I mean,
he wants the top guy to be Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, or Finn.
Yeah.
And Enzo Cass.
I mean, it looks like they're, it's like the same situation with him and Lex Luger. With Lex Luger and Hogan and everything, they were trying to push Lex Luger as the next big guy, but then what happened? Hulk Hogan came back into the picture and became the big guy. Basically, it's just Vince having this vision and it going a totally different route. I think he's just gotten to the point where he's just disappointed.
Wait,
and it's like,
Sal, can they do trades or no?
I think they can, yeah. Well, it depends. Like, and if you've seen Drafts Past, we had this episode. I think it's on our YouTube page. We had a whole video of all the past drafts and everything. They had a point where I think it was Triple H was sent to Raw. I mean,
John
SmackDown.
Cena got traded also.
Yep. Right now?
No, like previous drafts. Remember, he was traded from Raw to SmackDown in one show.
No, he wasn't technically traded. He was drafted, I think. They just like, how they had the whole setup where it was like, if a person from that team wins, they get a pick, and it was like random, quote unquote. That was the 2011 draft, I think, where they gave us the biggest fuck you. Where in the beginning of the night, John Cena was sent from Raw to SmackDown, and then he was sent from SmackDown to Raw by the end of the night. I remember that. That was actually just, I think, that wasn't actually a trade. That was just them, doing however, just like, whoever shows up, they're drafted.
Do you have any low points of this draft before we close it out?
I gotta say, I totally expected more. I thought they were gonna bring back some like legend or something. Didn't happen. So I can't say I'm disappointed. It lived up to the hype just about a little bit.
I'm disappointed in one person getting drafted and one person not.
Who's that?
The person getting drafted, Eva Marie.
Yeah, that was a waste.
The person not getting drafted, Bayley.
That's the biggest shock, I think. That let's look back at the NXT picks they had. They had, who was it?
Finn Balor was the first NXT pick.
Finn Balor, American
Alpha. No one could complain about.
Yeah, that was well deserved. Finn Balor, American
Alpha, same thing.
Yep. Who else?
Nia Jax.
Nia Jax, which I don't think that she deserved it, but it's whatever. It's cool.
Alexa Bliss, she deserved it.
I don't think she deserved it.
You think she needed a little more time?
Yeah, I think she needed a little more time. Mojo Rawley.
Waste.
Total waste of a pick. They could have just gone ahead and done Hype Bros to one brand. But instead they did, okay, we're going to put these two on separate shows. On the same show, but as separate picks. That was retarded. Like, why would you do that, They're on
another name. They could have drafted Austin Aries.
Or
Nakamura. Even Joe.
Yeah, Joe, which is even more interesting. Why aren't they pushing for Joe to be on the main roster, Or how about
Bobby Roode?
What about Hideo Itami? He's injured.
I don't know because he just came back.
Yeah.
He just performed at a house show.
But
so probably don't want to take any chances with him just in case.
Mm-hmm. But when you look at WrestleMania, I think it was 30 or 31.
30 when he was in the Battle Royal.
He was a battle royal, and they had trust in him. They said, he was probably good as a new pick as for their main roster, but that didn't happen. But I mean, nonetheless,
Heath Slater wasn't drafted.
yeah, that's also got to beg another question. So what happens to all these names that weren't drafted? In Draft Pass, they just showed up on a different show. That's from what I heard. But maybe they might do the same thing. Oh, wait. Are they doing something?
Huh? What the hell was that? You saw that, right?
No, I'm seeing that right now.
What the hell was that?
Wait. So the lights went out, and
That was it.
I'm in complete, fuckery right now. I'm like, wait, what are they doing?
What the fuck happened?
Did you see that?
I'm confused as fuck right now.
I'm so puzzled right now. Why would they end it like that? That's something going on then.
Why did they not draft Bailey?
That's true. Maybe Bailey kidnapped Heath Slater.
But why was Eva drafted?
I guess it's just Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon going, oh, she's the future. She's the future. Maybe she might be on the next cover of Playboy. Who knows? Maybe that's why.
You draft the redhead, but you leave out the hugger.
And they pass out these things, these signs and everything. Does that mean, they're not doing it? Like, something's going on.
I don't know. I'm fucking confused.
Me too. I'm just kind of like, what kind of bull crap is going on? Especially with this last thing with Heath Slater. Heath Slater, he's sitting in the room and everything. Lights go out. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, Scott does something.
I don't know.
I don't know, but we'll see. But
this better work out for the better.
But hopefully they have a draft next year, and we'll see how that works. Hopefully this will be a reoccurring thing.
And hopefully Eva Marie is not around next year.
Oh my God, I hope not. I hope they just realize that she's not worth anything and just release her.
If she is one of the people who get future endeavored, we have to do a breaking episode of the RSN podcast.
We definitely have to.
Just to announce it, and we have a party.
I'm waiting for that day, and I'm waiting for the day that they announce that Kevin Dunn is out of the company too. That I'm just gonna go bonkers. I'm just gonna be like, holy shit! Thank God.
We throw a whole party.
We throw a whole party here at RSN, but we'll see. I mean, nonetheless, this is a draft reaction that we've had. We talked about the picks. We talked about our reaction to them, and basically, the whole deal going on. They had the actual draft, which was televised on SmackDown, which is going to be live every single week now with Raw on Mondays.
No more spoilers.
No more spoilers, thank God. Now we don't have to wait for, any kind of things leaking out on the internet. It's just going to happen the way it happens, which is perfect. It brings me back to those days when you watched Raw, when we watched SmackDown back in the day, and it was like Friday night or something, or Thursday night, and it was like,
the original one, Thursday night.
Yeah, and it was like you watched it and you didn't know what was going to happen genuinely. There were no dirt sheets out there. There were no online things, rumors, anything like that. It just happened.
Good old days of wrestling.
And I love that. That was perfect. It was taped, but we still loved it. It was something we enjoyed. But I mean, nonetheless, that's the draft. Now the wrestling is gonna be on Monday and Thursday. You got Monday Night Raw live, SmackDown live. You got Wednesday, you got NXT and Lucha Underground. Thursdays you got
not much longer though, right? Because isn't the season over?
Well, yeah, I think they're finishing up the season and then starting it again in the fall. Because you gotta understand they tape season 3, so they gotta continue it. They're not gonna just wait until the whole year and then do it,
And then you got TNA on Thursdays.
TNA's on Thursdays, and Friday, Friday basically just you recoup or do whatever. Saturday, and it's just what it is. And Sunday, pay-per-views. But I mean that's a pretty big lineup. I mean not also the fact that Nick, he's got the site for Wrestling Opinion. He has to go ahead and do all this coverage, But
and just remember, as we always say, reading is fundamental. Reading about wrestling puts you over the top. It's everything.
PWO, Pro Wrestling Opinion. Pro Wrestling Opinion was actually one of the sites where I went to. I saw the articles. I actually saw the actual coverage. And Nick helped get me back into Lucha after not watching it for a while.
He gives you segment-by-segment breakdowns. So if you ever happen to just say you run to the store during a show, you could always just go to his site and catch up on what you missed.
Indeed. I mean, also, it's all in depth. So when you see it, you know what's going to happen. You know how it's going to happen. You have an idea. You see what's going to happen. And then hopefully, you know, you can expand on that. Nonetheless, you know, if you see that, also check out PWO. Also check us out on SoundCloud. We have some podcasts up right now. We did our recent podcast on the draft. It was a whole preview of it and also a whole rant about the previous drafts from before. You can check that also on SoundCloud. You can also check us out on all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all this other stuff. Links will be down below. They'll be also on our website. And please check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all the other stuff.
And if you guys have any suggestions for any future episodes, just let us know. Drop a comment. You could inbox us. You could tweet us. And if we do happen to use one of your topics in the future, we'll give you guys a shout out just to show we appreciate fan feedback.
Yes, indeed. I mean, we noticed that there's a lot of traffic when our videos and everything, and we appreciate it. We really thank you guys for that.
We thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Indeed, we do.
If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here right now making videos every other week, because we appreciate the feedback you guys give us. We appreciate that you watch all our episodes.
Indeed. I mean, that's also another big thing that, you guys are showing the support. It helps us, it helps motivate us to do more, to see more stuff, and possibly do some more projects in the future. But again, without you guys, we won't be able to do any of this. It's been almost a year plus. We're still going strong. We'll see where it takes us from there.
And we're not going anywhere.
We're not going anywhere, indeed. We're not going anywhere. But
we're only going up.
We're going way, way up. That's where we're going. But, so, that's, nonetheless, we'll see you from here.
Have a nice night, guys.
See you guys. Have a good night.